Matthew chapter 18, verse 20, Jesus says, where two or more are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst. And I know that when I enter into his gates with thanksgiving and enter into his courts with praise, I know that he inhabits the praises of his people. Yeah. And I know that he is here. I dare you just to take your index finger. It shouldn't take you more than 2 seconds to realize. 1, 2, he's here. Yeah. On that road, 1, 2, he's here. As a matter of fact, Jesus is walking up and down the aisles of this place right now, ready, willing, and able to meet you at your point of need. He's here. He's near. He's here. He's near. And anytime we come into this house, we've got to recognize, like Bartimaeus in this story, that Jesus is always near. Jesus and the disciples, they were on their way out of town. They were leaving Jericho. As a matter of fact, they were already walking to the outskirts of that town. They were already passing through. Because Jesus, at this point in time, he's already close to Jerusalem. He's already in a death processional, headed straightly to the cross in a few days. And nearby, on the outside of that town, there was a blind man begging on the side of the road. The blind man heard that it was Jesus that was passing by and heading out of the city. And his window of opportunity, it was rapidly closing. His time was dwindling. Sands were falling through the hourglass. If he does nothing, Bartimaeus would remain in the same way that he had spent his entire life. Yet something was happening inside the heart of the blind man. He had heard about the man named Jesus. Jesus who was healing other people's hurts. Jesus who was not turning anyone away. Jesus who didn't treat anybody like an outcast. Jesus that by his command the deaf ears would open, and yes, to the blinded eyes they would see. By his command the winds and waves would obey his voice. The dead were raised. And yes, now Bartimaeus, the son of David, Jesus Christ, Jesus is near. Somebody you've got to understand in here, recognize the fact that Jesus is near.